Hi everyone, this is Chris from Modiphius. I'm just going to do a quick flick through some of the boxes for the Skyrim adventure game that have come in from the factory. This is currently just starting to ship out from China. And we've got the first set here. I've already taken the wrap off because I don't think it's fun watching me take plastic wrap off. So obviously some plastic bags, always useful. You've got the main rulebook. You have then got the adventure game, the scenario book, which is also back-to-back with the tutorial that teaches you how to play. Something fun also to see is the bottom of the box is been designed as a nice dice tray if you want to be rolling the dice hard like that. Okay, what else have we got? Now, so we've got some save boxes. So the good thing with this game is it lets you save the status of the game at any point. So you've got a board save, which only counts from the board. You've also got boxes for, and there's should be 4 for 4 players. We've got the player boards. So room for these die cut 2-level versions. So you've got your XP, gold septims, components, which are ore, kind of plant materials and soul gems. You've got places for your sorry, I've got a bit of a bad connection here if we're seeing a dropping in and out. You've got places here for your skills to go in, and this is how much they cost in skill points. Sorry, in experience. And then your health, stamina, and magicka track. And around here is where you're going to put your equipment. Sorry, guys, there won't be any information on the Homeworld game. It is coming to crowdfunding in a few months before Christmas. So we'll be doing more information on that soon. And then just following up on here, you have some statuses that could be here. Maybe you're a horse thief, something like that. You're going to be arrested if you go to certain towns. And you've got equipment like for your backpack here. But you'd have helmets here, armor, and then left, right hand or two-handed. Then you've got boots, and then possibly 2 wearables, 2 potions. So let's move on. There's that other player save box. We've got the board. Let's open that up. Make sure it doesn't help to knock the camera. So I won't open this all the way up, but as you can see, there's your board with the map of Skyrim and the various holds and strongholds to go to, and the various adventuring locations. These are wilderness locations where you can pick up sort of side quests, and then the various dungeons, adventure locations. So this is caves, the simplest one. Then you've got mines and so on, all the way up to Dwemer cities, which are very deadly indeed. Okay. We've got counter sheets, lots of septims, lots of soul gems. This is threat. Threat builds up through the game and is a kind of a driving mechanic. It's not really a timer. It doesn't force you to finish the game. This game lets you play for hours. If you've been watching me stream, I've played the first 1-hour mission over 5 hours. Before I went to Gen Con, we played I've got another set of this that the first prototype, that we played for 4 hours because it just was fun to keep doing dungeons and leveling up. The game doesn't force you to finish, but it's got this gentle pressure which stops you just getting too powerful and constantly doing dungeons. You have got to keep doing your quests. So these are some examples of the little skill tokens. Let me just grab one of the player boards. I'm going to show you how this works. So if you decided to spend your first 7 XP on the alchemy skill, you just slot it in there. And actually, when these all fill up, you can then start turning them over to the legendary side, which gives you extra bonuses, extra dice during gameplay. Let's move on. What else have we got on here? You've got your XP, more threat, these are some of the wandering monster tokens. They're double-sided, which means there's 2 potential encounters you might meet. One way more dangerous, as I found out in a recent game. So here we go, some horse tokens. You can buy a horse, you can gain a horse by stealing one. And these are your quest markers, just like out of the video game. So we've got our first tray here with a selection of cards. So you've got upgrade cards here, which is the top half is the enchantment, and the bottom half is the kind of weapon or armor upgrade. And then you've got various equipment decks, and we have a numbered quest part of the quest deck, which might be things that you find. Coloured cubes that slot onto the die cut player boards. The dice set, got a monster dice here and the player dice, and then these are some more cubes that go on the player boards. There's the characters. See, I hadn't prepared this before. So let's just put these back in order. So these are the 6 player figures that you get in the base game. Let's show you up a bit close. I don't know if that's going to focus. Let's try touching the camera. So there's 6 choices in the base game. And then there's more in the expansions. And then we have a very large pack of cards, which is, and they're all shrink wrapped. So these are all numbered. So you're going to be setting up. Remember this design from the big stone relief from the trailer for Skyrim. So we've got 2 of these. We unlocked a second one, which is enough space for all the numbered cards in all the expansions. So this is, I think the first base game is something like about 1 to 400 cards, and then it goes up from there. And then you've got another tray here for decks. You've got some dividers here. This is the legendary card pack. Let's have a quick flick through that, because that's some of the stuff we unlocked exclusively in the Game Found. So this only comes with the Game Found edition of the game, as I've mentioned in the text. You've got until the 23rd of September to join in at the Game Found prices. Otherwise, after that, it's going to be retail prices. The game's going to be shipping out to backers, depending on when the ships get out of China, but let's say roughly in October. And the game's coming to retail from Asmodee worldwide, so I'd expect to see that before Christmas. Let's have a look at some of these enemies. So we've got some really cool badass enemies. Remember I said once you get all the skill tokens, you can start leveling them up and switching them over to the legendary side. Now when you do that, the first time someone does that, you add a legendary enemy, and these have got like a nice foil finish. So we've got the Spriggan Earth Mother, the Charis Hunter, Frozen Falmer Shaman, the Falmer Shadow Master, the Wisp Mother, an Arch Necromancer, an Ancient Frost Atronach, an Ancient Flame Atronach, a Dwarven Centurion army, and a Storm Dwarven Centurion. So these get added into the dungeon decks because you're now a legendary hero, and as the other players do that, they all get added in. So the game gets progressively harder as players really level up. Let's have a look. So we've got these are sort of extra side quests. So we've got some really fun more side quests here, and we've got some of the cards which are used for the free roam mode. So free roam mode is, you know what, you don't really want to follow the quests, or maybe you've finished all the quests and you just want to just run around, level up, play some fights, and this kind of gives you more event cards that support that. We've got things like the Orc Stronghold. We've got Daedric Influence, which is really interesting new role. We've got new additions to the dungeons, things like, which are kind of locations in the dungeons. So Side Tunnel, Mine Shaft, Seal Reliquary, Secret Crypt, Abandoned Treasure Room. So these are very, very hard to get through, but they have amazing rewards if you do. They're called dungeon puzzles. And then we've got some more quests, side quests and dungeon quests there. Sorry, town quests. There is some more influence here, which is the Daedric influence, and we've got some more gear here linked to those legendary enemies, which is really great. So let's make some room, and that is the base game. The base game has 2 campaigns, 6 missions. 3 are set before the events of Skyrim. That's 1 campaign, and then your characters keep going. You're a bit older. You've sold off some of the cool gear that you got in that first mission. You settled down, had a family, but events come back to haunt you, and you've got to start again. You're back on the adventuring road, and this time it's around the time of the Dragonborn in Skyrim. So we've then got the Dawn Guard expansion. So what does this do? Guess what? It adds vampires. There you go. So this is the rule book, simple rule book. Then we've got an extra piece for the map, which adds Castle Volkihar, Fort Dawnguard, some more threat, some specific tokens, vampires, Boethia's Chosen. And this adds, of course, vampire rules. So you can be... Now, the interesting thing is, I mean, if you remember, I was playing it again recently, and, you know, I'd rescued that... the vampire from the crypt and went to Fort Dawnguard, and I'm running around with this vampire in tow, and they're like, what's she doing here? And you know, so you can all be running around together as vampires and Dawnguard, but of course you are on distinct sides, and the vampires have certain powers, hunger, feeding, and they've got certain power cards. The Dawnguard get really awesome new weapons, and you've got some more characters in here. You are going to have to work together to defeat, complete the quests, but you can impact the world around you through the events of will you support Volkihar or the Dawnguard. So we've got some more characters for you to play here. So there's 4 more playable character backgrounds. Okay, sorry. And then a bucket load more cards. So this is, you've got more followers. You've got, followers are a good fun thing in the game. You kind of gain, you know, just like in the video game, you've got extra characters following you along and fighting with you. Look, vampirism powers, and the vampire powers, you can use threat to power them up, and you get all sorts of extra bonuses. And what else have we got? There's the whole new quest line. This is a whole new campaign of 3 missions that, as I've said before, you don't just play it once and he's like, oh, I've seen it. I have played the first mission of 6 in the base game, I think about 25 times demoing this, because I've been demoing it to all the press. You might have seen some of the promo videos I've done, but I've played that same mission again and again and again and again and again. And it's fun every time. And I know I make the game, so I know I could be just saying that, right? But when we played our gaming group the other week, we played the first mission, and you know what? It was fun again. And I was kind of thinking, well, maybe we should just start a new one. But it was great. That's why we played for 4 hours.